honestly just makes the Star Trek lover in me so happy. Like, beam me up, Scotty. Hey y'all, it's Nate. Welcome back to my little corner of YouTube. This is going to be a no spoiler video on what I have deemed to be the most bizarre episodes of Black Mirror. If you don't already know, Black Mirror is basically Netflix's version of The Twilight Zone. It's an avant-garde, sometimes dystopian anthology series that really implements bizarre themes and often deals with some form of technology or politics or weird life events in general. I am a huge fan and I've watched since season 1. Timestamps are in the description box if you want to skip through, and now that that's out of the way, let's get into it. Black Mirror didn't waste any time. From season 1, episode 1, they come out the gate swinging. Like, they're ready to fight. This episode is titled The National Anthem. This episode has blackmail and another B word that I won't mention on YouTube. This is the story of a prime minister whose daughter gets kidnapped. And of course, because this is the digital age, the ransom letter comes in the form of a YouTube video. Now, we all know how quickly a video can go viral, and that's exactly what this ransom letter does. In this ransom video, she is basically speaking off of the standard "I've been kidnapped" script. I've been kidnapped, these are the demands, do it by this time, and if you don't, X, Y, and Z is gonna happen.
I am in a place you cannot find, held by one you will not trace. If you do not do precisely as instructed by 4 p.m. this afternoon, I will be executed.
Like I said, pretty standard kidnapper stuff. What's not standard is what those demands are. I'll spare you the details on what those demands are because YouTube is going to demonetize this video if I don't. But it gets weird fast. I think this episode definitely goes down in history of one of Black Mirror's most effed up episodes. And keep in mind that it's the first one. And I give it 5 film reels based off of that alone. It's truly a very disturbing and interesting episode. In season 2, episode 3, titled The Waldo Moment, we follow a middle-aged man whose job it is to play this fictional cartoon bear. Now, Waldo is supposed to be meant to teach kids things, but he's also known to use language that's not really kid-friendly. I'm not exactly sure who his target audience is. It's like if Elmo cussed kids out every once in a while. We all know Elmo is a little bit gangsta, so that's not too far off. So our main character basically decides he doesn't want to be Waldo anymore, but he's told that he has to keep doing it because it's working. One day, Waldo interviews this politician while he's on the campaign trail. It starts off really funny until it turns creepy. Someone decides that Waldo should actually run against this politician as kind of a ha-ha joke.
I'm not dumb or clever enough to be political.
Why don't we get Waldo to stand for the by-election? Get people to vote for him.
He's not real.
No one's actually going to vote for him. That's not the point.
Now, if you're thinking that sounds ridiculous, I invite you to take a look at the American political system and how much of a show that is. This episode honestly hit a little bit too close to home for me, but I kind of think that's why I like it. Overall, I give it about 4 film reels. In season 3, episode 1, titled Nosedive, we are dropped into a society that feels like it's straight out of Pleasantville, which is, by the way, one of my favorite movies. If you haven't seen that, you totally should. I might have to do a video on Pleasantville. Pleasantville, I feel like, is a hidden gem movie that a lot of people don't know about. Now, in this society, everything runs in sort of a social credit score, which means that every interaction that you have with someone directly impacts your quality of life. If someone has an interaction with you and they like that interaction, they give you 4 or 5 stars. If someone has an interaction with you and they don't like it, they give you 3 or less. Now, these ratings matter for literally everything. For example, one of our main characters' co-workers gets into some workplace drama and his score drops below a 2.5. And at that point, he can't even get into the building to work because you have to be 2.5 or higher to get into the building.
Kinda not talking to Jess.
3.1? What happened?
Him and Gordon split up.
Oh, poor Jess.
No. We're all on Gordon's side.
Sure.
Door won't open. I'm on 2-4.
Sorry, Jess. I'm late.
I just need some stars, please.
Having a social credit score sounds completely ridiculous until you realize that that's kind of the society that we function in right now. How many followers do you have? Are you verified? Are you an influencer? Do you get brand deals? Are you invited to brand trips? Are brands sending you free items? All of that goes into how you are perceived by society, for better or worse. I watched this episode way too many times to even count because it is one of my faves, so of course I'm going to go ahead and give this one 5 film reels. Season 4 of Black Mirror is filled with so many great episodes that it really was hard for me to pinpoint what is the most bizarre from this season. But at the end of the day, I think the choice was pretty clear. Season 4, episode 1, titled USS Callister. It honestly just makes the Star Trek lover in me so happy. Like, beam me up, Scotty. Was that Star Trek? I think that was Star Trek. In this episode, we follow a tech guy who is obsessed with this show called Space Fleet, which is basically just Star Trek. He loves to run off into this fantasy world and get fully immersed in episodes of Space Fleet, where he imagines himself as captain of the ship. Now, he likely does this because in his real life, he's kind of a nerd, kind of that guy that no one really pays attention to or gives the time of day. He's not that exciting of a guy and nobody's really checking for him. So in his fantasy world, in his head, he gets to be the boss and everyone loves him. This new girl starts and she's obsessed with him because it turns out that he's actually a literal genius and is the co-founder of this company as well as being the CTO of this company, even though nobody treats him like he is.
Tell me it's gonna be up and running before the weekend.
Oh, I'll ask Kabir.
Your CTO, don't ask anybody anything. You should be telling people things like I'm fucking telling you right now.
I'll talk to him.
Good.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Now, I truly think that this episode is a masterpiece, and I don't say that lightly. Bizzare is what you're looking for. Netflix delivered it with this one. I have rewatched this episode many times over, like countless times over. I think it actually might be my favorite episode of the series. I can't fully say what this episode was supposed to teach me, but I guess the lesson is that you're just supposed to be a decent person. I would give this episode 10 film reels if I could, so the score is obvious. So season 5 of Black Mirror is a short one. I don't really know why. I think it came out right before COVID, so maybe that has something to do with it, but who knows? Netflix isn't talking. That being said, episode 1 of season 5, titled Striking Vipers, is another amazingly bizarre episode. This episode follows two friends in a VR themed episode that's about a fighting game. Think if Tekken was VR. That actually sounds pretty cool. Somebody should do that. Sony, get on that. Now, playing a VR version of Tekken already sounds like it would be amazing, but this game is extra special because it's really realistic. So when you're fighting, if you get hit, you actually feel that IRL. And of course, you can do things like jump really high, move really fast, and all the other things that you would be able to do in a Tekken-style fighting game. Anyway, these two friends become obsessed with the game, so much so that they are basically living in VR. Again, not too far off from our society and the metaverse and what we are actually experiencing right now. But like with most addictions and obsessions, it becomes too much. We all know that too much of a good thing can get out of control, and that's exactly what it did in this episode.
Just the time. Oh. And I gotta work tomorrow. Fuck your work.
I'm gonna give this one 4 film reels. I feel like I kind of wanted a little bit more from the ending, but I still think it is worth a watch, and I do think it is a very bizarre episode. Maybe not on the technological side, but just about the human psyche in general. If you're a fan of Black Mirror, let me know what your favorite episode is in the comments below. Keep in mind, we want to keep this spoiler free, so don't go into too much details, but I would love to hear about what your favorite episode is or what you think the most bizarre episode is. The new season of Black Mirror drops tomorrow, June 15th, and I'm probably going to binge it in one day. I'm not even going to lie. I just love this series so much, and I am beyond happy that it's back. If you want to keep in touch with me after this video, subscribe to my channel or follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Subscribe. My ear is ringing. I don't even have anything loud planned. A social credit store, which means credit store.
Brand new Benz, brand new Maybach. Got brand new friends for way back. If you my sign, can't change that.